Communications between a USP controller and USP agent are delivered using two separate constructs, the USP Message and its container, the USP Record. Both the USP Record and the USP Message are encoded in transit using protocol buffers. Protocol buffers is a standard developed by Google to allow protocol endpoints to easily understand the fields and values of messages transported between them using a clearly defined schema. The schema for the USP record is defined in the usp-record.proto file, which can be found with the USP specification. The USP record is used to provide source and destination information about the message it contains, plus any session and security information if the optional end-to-end session context is used. The full details of how to use the USP record and end-to-end session context can be found in the end-to-end message exchange section of USP. A USP record contains several elements. The first is version, which specifies the version of the USP protocol the endpoint is speaking. The to ID contains the endpoint identifier of the intended receiving endpoint. If this contains an endpoint ID other than that of the receiving endpoint, the record must be ignored. Consequently, the from ID contains the endpoint identifier of the source USB endpoint. The payload security element specifies how, if at all, the USP message contained in the record payload is secured. It can have a value of plain text, meaning there is no application layer security on the payload, or TLS1.2, which means the payload is secured using TLS version 1.2 or later. The next two fields, MAC signature and sender cert, are used when using a session context for end-to-end integrity protection of USB records. This is related to the use of record type, which defines whether or not the USB record is to be delivered within a session context. Record type can have one of two values, no session context or session context. When record type is set to no session context, the last element in the USP record is the payload, which contains a protobuf encoded USB message. The USP message itself is encoded using the USP-MSG proto file for its schema. Messages come in one of three types: requests, responses, and errors. With the exception of the notify message, requests are sent from controllers to agents, who generate responses or errors after processing the message. USP messages contain a header element and a body element. The header contains two fields. The message ID is used to coordinate requests with responses or errors, and to handle duplicates. The message type contains an enumeration that explains what kind of message the body contains. Though required in the header, this field is meant for information only to assist controllers in more efficient processing. The message type found in the message body should be treated as the correct type. The message body contains the request, response, or error. Responses occur when a message is processed and successfully acted upon, while errors occur when the message was either not understood or was not successfully acted upon. In USP version 1.1 and earlier, there are 9 types of requests and responses. Add, used for creating objects. Set, used for updating objects. Delete, used for removing objects. Get, used for reading an agent's instantiated data model. Get supported DM, used for reading an agent's supported data model. Get instances, used for reading the state of currently instantiated objects. Operate, used for invoking object-specific commands on the agent. Notify, which is used by the agent to inform the controller of events it has subscribed to. And get supported protocol to handle version synchronization between controller and agent.